Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Amazing Women in Optometry podcast. Today, we have Dr. Beverly Bianes with us, and she's going to talk about her story in optometry and all the wonderful things that she's done and some advice for our listeners on maybe some things that she can inspire us about. Thank you, Beverly, for coming on today.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to having fun with you on this Friday.
For those of you that do not know her, she graduated from Southern California College of Optometry. She opened up a private practice in San Diego with her husband, Dr. John Pack, and then opened a second and a third. Over the years, she's been an active member of San Diego County Optometry Association, serves as the president in 2023, has done a lot of charitable outreach in the community, has been the most influential woman in optical in 2021. For her programs on Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And she also has partnered with the EssilorLuxottica Vision Foundation, Changing Lives Through Lenses program, and has done mission trips in the past, has served on numerous boards for women in optometry and the ambassador for Optometry Divas, serves as panelist, speaker for both the American Academy of Optometry Women's Leadership Conference, J&J's Power of Women in Optometry, has been a great, advocate for females in the industry. So it's such a pleasure to have you on the show today and share your story.
Well, thank you.
Can you tell me about yourself and your optometry journey?
Well, thank you for summing up everything. Like you said, I grew up actually in San Diego. Came back to my hometown to practice. I went to school with my optometry sweetheart and married him, and we opened up our practice here. We practiced for about 26 years, and then within the last 5 years, we partnered with a private equity group. And I have a daughter who just graduated from optometry school in 2020. And then we gained a son-in-law who is an optometrist as well, Dr. Justin Wynn. So as you can imagine, our dinner table conversations are definitely impacted by optometry. My poor son, who's not in optometry, gets very bored with our conversations, but it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, I would always love to have a sidekick, a daughter with me in the office over the years. My kids are little, but how amazing is that, just to kind of something that you love and the person you love the most to be, involved in your life as they get older too. And you can kind of mentor them and kind of give them guidance and things like that. Try to do the best that you can. So I think that's great because your passion for optometry must have really rubbed off on your daughter to go into the field as well. And it's such a great field that you recommended it to her. And she's a new grad recently, right? So.
Right. And it was not always that way. She didn't really enjoy listen to optometry stories every day. But, I kept on showing her how good the profession has been for our family. And has been.
Yeah. I think my kids are younger, but I think they hear a lot of things, and so they've learned a lot about optometry, even though they're middle school and elementary school.
Right.
What has inspired you to become an optometrist?
Actually, that was early on. I was 16 at the time, and I was one of those quiet Asian girls that sat in the front of the class because I was afraid of being teased by my peers with wearing glasses. So I sat in the front, and then my mom took me to an optometrist, and he fit me with contact lenses. And I was just amazed at this little plastic disc can help me see. And it changed my whole personality, gave me more confidence, and that just inspired me to actually move in that direction to be an optometrist.
Excellent. Can you tell us about yourself early in your career in optometry as a female, and how you broke some barriers to be where you are today?
Yeah, earlier on, when I think about things today, I wished I would have said yes a little bit more than what I did back then, just because I always like kind of geared my way away from things that made me feel uncomfortable or I was scared to do. But when I realize it today, I realize that's where my most growth occurred. Just like being on this podcast is something that's totally different from where I would have been back then than where I am today.
No, I have a lot of female guests on the podcast, and a lot of them say, always say yes to every opportunity. And that's been one of the themes that a lot of females have said. And that's been great because I take the same advice too. I mean, I've been uncomfortable over the years, try new things, you fail, you try again. And, sometimes just saying yes opens up a lot of doors, but you get confident, you learn something. It just opens a lot of opportunities, and just being uncomfortable has been a great way to really grow. And whether it's depending on what you want in optometry, whether maybe you want to, donate your time and do charity, do mission trips. Tell us about your mission trips and how you got involved in that and the impact that you made for a lot of people in those countries.
Yeah, I mean, I love giving back to the community. When my husband and I actually opened our practice, we really had this discussion on what do we want to be known for in our community. And I always told my husband, I want to be known to be an optometry office that was branded into the community, someone that gives back to the community. And so that has been our mission and our vision to the practice. And so every time we did things, it was always to give back. So we gave scholarships away. We also, to local high schools of people that wanted to go into optometry. We used to shut down our office to bring our employees out to the community to make sure that they felt like they were part of the community as well. And so from that, it actually expanded to mission trips. So one of my most memorable, or one of those times where I feel most accomplished, is when I went to my dad's hometown province in the Philippines. And that was really important to me because my mom and dad came from a very poor town. And I remember waking up in the morning and seeing hundreds of people just lined up to be seen for a vision exam. And I said, how can our eye team, possibly see all these people? And it was just a long day, but I was just so proud of ourselves by the end of the day because we actually saw every single person that day. So that was one of those memorable accomplishments in my career.
Yeah, I mean, you continue to do it. You do it there in the Philippines. I think for the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. Is that correct? And then, teaming up locally and with the Essilor, Luxottica Vision Foundation, a great foundation to help people in need. That's amazing to give back because you get so much from giving back to others, and you do, and it makes your job more fulfilling, right? It's great to be able to do that. And I highly recommend it to every optometrist. Doesn't matter where you are in your career, to be at the beginning, at the end. There's a lot of little things that you can do at the beginning. Let's say you're super busy and you can't do that mission trip. You can't take away. But there's a lot of things you can do locally. And there's a lot of good charities in each state, or maybe even just with the Essilor Luxottica Vision Foundation.
Yeah, the charity. Very an easy program to belong to because they have everything that's already set for you as far as frames and lenses. And so that's a place that you could start when you want, or if you're interested in giving back to your community.
Yeah, because we all have that one or two, children that the parents don't have any money, and they need glasses, and there's this, a lot of us will sometimes provide it, right? We'll make that difference anyways. But there are resources out there that we could help our patients if some office is not able to do that. But We know our job as optometrists is to take care of our patients, take care of people. So that has been one of the most fulfilling things for me is, you make an impact in people's lives. And but it's also been very good for me as a profession too. I've been very thankful for optometry. The other thing that, I've been very thankful for is women in the industry that really led the way. They've taken the step. They've been sponsors for a lot of females. It seems like you've been doing some of that as well recently with the different boards that you're on, optometry, divas, women in optometry magazine, leadership conferences. You're really advocating for females in the industry. Tell us a little bit about that, and also with the Optical Women's Association, which has been a great champion for females in the industry. Tell us how you got a little involved in that.
Actually, I think OWA has been a gift to me. I was introduced to OWA in 2019 by the president, Deb Bolkin, and she just asked a simple question: do you know about the Optical Women's Association? And it just was at a time that was very pivotal for me because I had a little bit, because of the change in my business model, I had a lack of kind of clarity of purpose, and this just allowed me to, I guess going back to Deb Bolkin, she was so good at follow-up. After I met her, she sent me invitations to join this organization. She sent me some sort of like bracelet. It was a beautiful bracelet with a pearl, and it had their tagline, "Connect, Inspire, and Lead." And I just was really drawn by the words of their mission or their tagline. And by joining it, I really saw the truth to their organization. They continue to be that contrast. They use their platform to be that contrast, to promote women leaders. And that was different for me. And I just really have been inspired for the people that I met in the organization and how supportive they have been.
Yeah, I've joined the organization as well. I think it's a great organization. You meet a lot of different females in the industry. It's not just optometrists, it's others, and opticians, reps. Deb Bolkin is one leader within, Luxottica Frames. I mean, it's great to network, and I'm looking forward to going to the breakfast at Vision Expo East next week. And now you are going to be awarded next week. Tell us about that, and congratulations on your award.
Well, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that I am getting an award for an organization I really believe in. The work has been so easy, and it has given me so much joy to give to this organization, and just to be honored really fills my heart, because I feel like the contributions that I have made has been making a difference. So I am just honored to
tell us how what you do with OWA, like what boards you serve on, how are you involved, and if others want to get involved, how do they get involved with OWA?
Well, I am currently the vice chair of the events committee that actually puts on the events at Vision Expos. I have been, and I really enjoy being on the Connection Enrichment Committee. And that's where I feel like a lot of my creativity is I am able to share in committee, where at the beginning of 2020, the topic was to how can we support women during a very difficult time. And so one of the ideas that came out was coffee break, connecting one sip at a time, is one of the programs that was created. And then also food for thought, when we were talking about diversity, how can we use food as a platform to talk about our culture and share our diversity with the organization. So those are some of the things that I was happy to contribute to OWA. And what my advice to people is, don't just be a member of OWA, try to get on the committees and really actually, meet different people. Nowadays in Zoom, you can meet people all over the United States. And I mean, we have people in Canada as well, and just get involved and share your talents.
No, yeah, those have been good events that they've done via Zoom, like fireside chats and things like that. I've joined some of those, and they're later in the day, like at night. I mean, it's easier. You can join committee that you want to. They're welcome to take on. They're welcome to mentor you. You can reach out, get a different perspective, right? Even if you're in private practice, get some of these experts, on the phone. They're willing to help you. Like if you're, you're starting a new practice and you're confused about frame board management, like they'll get on the phone with you. They'll talk to you. They're not looking to sell. They're looking to help you as a female in the industry succeed. They've been there. They can, introduce you to different other people. And my experience with OWA has been amazing. It's been very uplifting. They've, really inspired others. They're help promote each other. And, for the purpose of, expanding female leadership, females in the industry. And I think that's very important that, we work together to uplift each other. I'll tell you in my experience over the last 10 years, the doors that have opened or, people that have a kind of like tapped me on the shoulder and believed in me have really been females in the industry. Optometry divas, Loretta, she is amazing, inspiring. Yeah. Like what she does, really inspired me to be like, wow, look at her, like what she's there just to help promote females that are doing great and whatever they want to do. And I'm like, I could do that too in a podcast. That's great, inspire me, give this person a spotlight, and that might not have the spotlight, and it just promotes just great energy in the industry.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I do enjoy I get to be a co-ambassador with my daughter on Optometry Divas. Loretta has been inspiring. I love her. Maria, your show and paying it forward to bring on women in the industry has been inspiring as well. And
thank you.
It's true that, sometimes optometrists, we tend to be like one-sided and we tend to gravitate with just optometry, and we really need to expand that and expand our circles. We learn a lot from different perspectives of having friends that are older, acquaintances and colleagues that are younger, especially the younger people. Younger OGs, we can learn a lot from them. So I totally agree with everything that you said.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And this podcast too, like I learn a lot. I'm like, this person's, amazing woman in optometry, and what can I learn from her, and what has she done and over the years. And it's been great having a lot of these females on and sharing their story, and it's been great learning experience for me. And I'm glad that the listeners are getting something from this too. I mean, we're getting some positive feedback. People are inspired, and and just getting the spotlight that people deserve. Tell us what your next career move is for you now that you've sold your practice and been more of in a leadership roles in optometry to help young females.
That's interesting. That's an interesting question, because I just finished a book that is called No Regrets, Living Out Your Fourth Quarter with No Regrets. It was really interesting because it's a little bit strange, because I talk about the fourth quarter because, our life expectancy is 80. And so I'm approaching 60. So that is the fourth quarter. And so I started thinking about that as far as my fourth quarter of optometry. And I think, like I said, I think about the field of optometry and how good it has been to myself and my family. And, I just want to give back and finish this last stretch of my career strong. And I just think about what can be, what can I do to give much more to the industry. I would love to see myself in a career that at the second part of my career, in a spot that maybe I can get paid for. But no, I continue to look at how I can be an impact in the industry. I can help those new ODs climbing up the ladder or going into business themselves. So that's where I feel like I want to be.
Oh, that's great. And just meeting you in person, the first time I met you, I'll tell you, very open, easy to talk to. It's great to I think that you'd be a great mentor for a lot of young females. I mean, I think you've done a lot. I think you're a great person to kind of aspire to, multiple practices, leadership positions, advocating for the profession. So, I commend you for that. As some people have a position, and unfortunately it's hard for them to open up and, people to approach them. You're very approachable. And I think that's a great quality, and very humble in all your accomplishments.
Thank you.
So if anyone wants to contact you, is there an email that they can, and what's the best contact that they can? Is it LinkedIn? Is it an email?
They can do LinkedIn. They can email me at my personal email, which is drbianes@gmail.com. I'm always looking forward to meeting and connecting with new friends.
All right. I'll see you next week at Vision Expo East.
Well, thank you, Maria. We'll see you then.